Captain, you'd have to buy a new joke book, mate, because they're really getting awful. Absolutely awful.
Everyone's a midget gem, mate. Hey, listen, remember last week we talked about chilies?
I do.
Well, check out these pictures sent in by a viewer from Telford.
Telford?
Yeah.
Do we go that far?
Well, we do, actually. We just found out we do. It's called
Telford on the map.
He's called Anthony Ames, and he's got this huge collection of chilies.
Let's have a look then.
And listen, some of them, God, what about this for a name? Brain Strain. and another one, Devil's Tongue.
Ah, no, that's Mrs. GJ. Very good.
Good pictures, though. Yeah, see, just goes to show you can grow them pretty easily.
I love it. I mean, as we said, we like chilies.
Yeah,
not too hot,
no,
not too mild, but just in the middle. Right then, Captain, what are we talking about this week?
Well, I thought we'd have a look at container growing. I mean, you know, we've done the allotments, we've done sort of gardens. Container growing can be done anywhere. Balconies, patios, even window boxes. The thing to do is decide what you want to grow, and then choose the container that you're going to grow it in.
Can we we've spoken about balconies, patios, window boxes. What about sort of in our kitchen, like the window ledge, like the windowsill?
Yeah, you can do. The thing to do though is if you can get them outside, it's better because any plant grows better outside than in. So what you want to do is choose crops that are expensive to buy, but relatively easy to grow.
So, I mean, peppers, they're expensive.
Peppers take a long time, and to be absolutely honest with you, you need a polytunnel or something like that to grow peppers.
Oh, we've seen some of those polytunnels, haven't we?
We have, yeah. No, what you need, I think things like rocket, pak choi, leafy crops,
like salady stuff.
I mean, that's really expensive in the shops, but it's dead easy to grow. On in a window box, you can do it, or little containers.
And can you grow it all year round, or is it only in summer?
Well, all year round you'd have to do it inside. But as soon as it gets warm, you can put it outside. You need to work out how many hours a day where you're going to grow the sun comes. Because things like rocket and leafy crops, they do run 3 or 4 hours a day. They'll grow okay. If you want to be a bit more expansive and grow some beans and stuff like that, they need more sun.
So to find out how many hours my house gets the sun in the right place a day, I'll ask the boss if I can have a day off work.
And just
say, I've got to. It's very important. I've got to see how long the sun is on my back garden.
Tell him Captain Tongo told you it was a research.
That's good enough for me, mate. Good enough for me. And
get me into trouble,
that's not hard. And containers, then, I suppose, depending on where you're going to put them, does size matter?
The bigger the container, the bigger the crops. But what you've got to bear in mind is the bigger the container, the heavier it's going to be because you're going to use a load of compost in it. So if, say, for instance, you've got like 3 huge containers on a balcony, you need to find out whether it's going to fall off or not. Because you don't want somebody walking underneath to get all your crops on the head.
One day it's there, the next day it's gone.
Well,
Where's my balcony?
That's
a title for a game show. Where's my balcony? Come on down.
One to bear in mind, mate.
Mrs. GJ actually found one of those old recycling boxes the other day. Could we use that? Cause
Perfect.
It's waiting to go for the dustman at the moment.
No. As long as you make holes in the bottom for drainage, absolutely perfect. And last year I grew some fantastic carrots in an old recycling bin. Yeah, perfect.
And window boxes. We're talking about those.
Yeah.
So
perfect for salad leaves. Herbs look great in window boxes.
And this week, then, I'm sure you've got one. What's your demonstration to save us some pennies when we're out there growing our own?
Good little one this week. Let's we'll go over to the bench. It's something that my daughter bought for me a while back, and I wanted to show it you. Right then, GJ. Here is another really economical way to sow your seeds.
Right. That's good. I like sowing my seeds.
I know you do.
I'm getting into sowing my seeds.
I know you do. Right, so let me show you this. My daughter bought me this. Lovely little gizmo. Right. We take one of those and a sheet of newspaper.
Okay.
Any newspaper.
Is that the Times?
No, but it could be. It could be the Guardian.
Mrs. GJ prefer me to use the Times because it obviously produces a better quality vegetable.
Of course. What we do is we fold it into 4 like that. All right. Then we take this piece and we very carefully roll it around.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I can manage that so far, so
Right,
good.
then we fold this part in.
Yeah.
Then we take this.
Yeah. It's like one of those Russian doll things.
Give
isn't
it the
They all
twizzle.
go inside each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Give it a good
And then
twist.
Very carefully pull it out. And there we have a seed pot made out of old newspaper. We fill that up with compost. You plant your seed in it.
Yeah.
Seed grows. You get your dibber.
Dibber.
Dibber, 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 dibber.
Yes, yes.
Right? You make your hole in the soil,
Yeah.
put the whole thing in, right? And then that rots away and the seed grows on unfettered.
That's brilliant.
So again, you know, just using old newspaper. You can get these online.
Yeah.
Really interesting little
It's very good.
little thing. That,
Somebody's
yeah.
actually sat there, thought about that, and has come up with a solution to a problem.
Yeah,
I suppose it saves using and buying loads of
pots. Yeah, yeah, you can do it like that. Right. So then we'll go on, because what you would do is you would put those into your mushroom tray.
Yeah.
Your empty mushroom tray. Another use for the mushroom tray, remembering to make the holes in the bottom for drainage,
Yeah.
is you fill it up about 3/4 of the way with compost. Get a packet of mixed leaf. So that's like rocket, lettuce, mizumo, which
Spinach,
is
can you put spinach?
spinach
mixed
you
leaf?
can. Mizumo's like a Japanese peppery thing, right?
Yeah.
You just very, very sparsely sprinkle the seeds on the top, water it, right, and then leave it. A week later, you do exactly the same thing again.
Right.
And then the week later afterwards. So you've got, over a month, you've got 4 of these going. The first one, all the leaves grow.
Yep.
So you clip them off,
Yep.
right, water it again. By that time, the second one's grown up. So you do the same then. By that time, the third one's grown. By the time you finish the 4th one, the first one's grown again. So you've actually got like a perpetual little
salad
leaf salad.
Salads.
And leaf salad can be quite expensive, you know. So that's a really nice, economical way to.
And you can do it if you've just got a windowsill.
You can do it on a windowsill. You can do it in a window box.
Brilliant.
Tell you what are good to grow in these, especially in the summer, are herbs like basil and parsley.
Oh, parsley, because parsley I like parsley.
Again,
Very
both
useful.
of them, you pick them, they continue to grow. Basil, you just nip the leaves off, and they'll sprout again.
Brilliant.
Parsley is the same. You just nip the things out, and it will continue to grow all through the summer.
Super.
So that's a couple of things. Hey, and listen, I was reading the other day. Did you know that the Wellington has been voted number 20 in the top 50 icons of British design of all time?
I didn't know that, but thank you for telling me.
Yeah, well, I'm Joe, but I was just thinking, if we got our viewers to send in all their Wellie pictures for the Wellie wall,
Yeah.
and then we let the design council know, we might be able to get the Wellies in the top 10.
Top 10 next year. Top 10 Wellies.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wonder who decides these things.
Well, I don't know. I don't
But
know.
it's interesting. That's good.
And while we're at it, you know, we're doing this container gardening.
Yeah.
And people with balconies and patios, we want to speak to them.
All right, and because I've just forgotten it, so where's our? How do they get in touch with us?
They get the Wellies
Yep.
at bigcentre.tv.
That's it.
Hey, you remember that show that used to be on the telly where people used to send in pictures of like weird shaped vegetables and fruit?
That's fruit. Was that it?
Yeah, Esther Rancid.
Esther Rancid.
Well, this mate of mine, she sent me a picture the other day of this strawberry that she grew, and it's like, wow, it's really weird. And I'm just thinking, why don't we get anybody out there who's got like weird shaped fruit and veg that they get? Take a photograph, send it in, and we'll put it alongside the Wellies. And you never know what we might find.
That's a good idea, actually. Misshaped potatoes.
Yeah, well, there's always plenty of those, and carrots. You know, so yeah, anybody out there, weird shaped fruit, weird shaped vegetables, get them on a photograph. Big Centre, Wellies at bigcentre.tv. Give us a look at them.
Great idea.
Hey, listen, my son came home the other day from school. He's always late. He always gets there late. And he said the teacher said to him, he says, "Hey, your dad's a gardener." He says, "Get him to get you a potato clock."
Potato clock? What's a potato clock?
Well, if you get a potato clock, you won't be late anymore, will you?
I told you, get a new joke, please. Beam me up, Scotty.
Oh, hey, and another thing as well. You remember last week we were going on about scaring birds?
I never have that problem personally, but you probably do. But yes, I do.
Well, this photograph was sent in by a couple of allotmenteers that I knew from Whitton, called Ethel and Cecil.
Ethel and Cecil.
Brilliant.
They're good, aren't they? Did they model them on themselves then?
Well,
fantastic.
I'm sure they'll be in touch when they hear you say that. Right then, we're coming up to a break now, and it's a cup of tea time. But before we go, here's this week's question, GJ.
Yeah.
Have a look at this flower.
Okay.
All right. And what do you think it is?
Don't know. Geranium.
Answer after the break. So before the break, I asked you, what flower is this? Any more ideas?
I've had a good think. He lied. I haven't got a clue. I don't know. Please tell me. Put me out of my misery.
It's rhubarb.
No.
It is. It's actually the flower head that develops if you don't pick it, and the plant then starts to go to seed.
Well, now you've said that, I can sort of see the leaves. So it looks, yes, now you've said it, it's like one of those pictures people say, can you see what it is now? And then you can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it there. And Mrs. GJ, well, she wouldn't let it go to seed, I tell you. She absolutely loves rhubarb and custard too much. Oh, it's one of our Sunday treats.
All right.
Nice roast lunch and a little bit of rhubarb and custard. And you know what I do on top of my custard? I cheat a little bit. I put some double cream on top as well. Oh. You don't get a figure like this by not eating custard and cream. That's made me a little bit peckish actually now, so can we stop talking about food, Captain? And I'll tell you what, let's have a cup of tea and a biscuit, and we'll have a look at where we visited this week.
Here we are, GJ. We've come to another allotments. We're in Goscote, which is just outside Walsall, and we're with Graham Bond, who is the... are you the chairman?
No. I'm just a gardener.
A gardener.
An allotmenteer. Is that the word?
Allotmenteer. We like allotmenteers.
We like allotmenteers, yeah. And these are your plots, you were just telling us?
This one here, and the next one. It isn't number 40, unfortunately. That was a drum I inherited some years ago. It's actually number 60.
And you got some garlic in?
Yes, garlic growing there that was planted in roughly October, directly in the ground as it comes through the winter. And the first sign of a bit of sunshine, and away it'll go now. And it'll be ripe and ready for picking. Prox June, it'll start falling over, going brown. That's the time to dig it up.
That's when you dig it up, right.
So that's...
And you were telling us before, which is an interesting thing, about the manure. I noticed that you got some really good-looking manure, but you were saying that you got to be careful when you actually get manure.
Yes, some years ago, and most of it was over the Dudley, Cradley area. There were some chemicals that were passed by the animals that were still in the manure when they were passed. Consequently, when it was on the ground, it deformed the crops that were growing. So that was a major issue a few years ago. So now you have to watch where you have your manure from and what they use. That there we're looking at is cow, which I don't think much the cows have this type of medicine or whatever it was. It was mainly horse, but whether...
I've just learned something. I thought all the manure was on gardens and allotments was from horses, but you say it's from cows.
This here, what you're looking at there, that is cow manure. It smells quite nice today.
It probably does to you.
On a good day.
Can we move on?
On a good day, you'd know about it.
I know about it now.
Oh, I can't smell it today.
It's either that or or Captain, you had something to eat last night.
Jove, yeah.
There we go.
No more curried eggs for me.
No.
When do you put your spuds in?
The earlies will be going in that section there at end of this month, stroke weather-wise.
Yeah.
It's not hard and
Easter,
fast.
do you go along with like round about Easter, but depending on the weather?
It's not hard and fast. This is what I try to tell new people who come down who haven't got a clue. They say, well, the packet says I can plant on such and such. No. be guided by the weather forecast, what the weather's like, what the ground feels like. Actually, when I felt that there, GJ, this felt quite warm. Not warm, but I can tell it's warm enough to start planting. That would be. But I'm not saying out there it would be, because that's on a bed of straw, so heat. No, I'll be looking towards the end of March, stroke April, beginning about to plant early potatoes, because we can and do have frost up till the 4th stroke 6th of June, when the last full moon, and that is the lethal one that kills people's runner beans who inadvertently planted them early.
Ah, we've learned some. Did you know that, Captain?
Well, it's rumoured. It's rumoured.
About that frost.
Yeah.
We won't get it if there's a cloud. But if it's a clear night between the 4th and 6th, when that full moon is, I've seen it happen.
And is that when everybody dances naked around the compost?
I don't know about that, because I'm normally in the pub round that time.
Some nice fruit trees there, I noticed that, and really well laid out.
Yes, Dave's very meticulous. He is a chippy, so whatever he builds, it's bang on, precise.
And that's got to be one of the tidiest brassica cages I think I've ever seen. Looks like it's come straight off an architect's drawing board.
Because that's so high, would you grow beans in that?
You could do.
Is it runner beans that you go for
could
frame
do.
and stuff
You
like
could
that?
do.
I would think that he'd be concentrating on things like collies and cabbage and
Yeah, exactly.
kale, because that keeps the pigeons off.
That's right, that's it. That's the main culprit why you make cages, is pigeons.
What's that?
It's a plum tree John's planted some years ago, and it fruits pretty well, given that the spring and the frost don't drop the fruit, etc.
And judging from my compass here, it's the south-facing wall, so perfect position, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like plums. Mrs. GJ likes plums, Captain. She loves her plums.
Yeah.
Mrs. GJ might never get one of those.
Oh.
There's not many that John gets.
Well, that was another good day out, wasn't it? And the weather was kind to us down there. That was Goscott allotments. And when you said we were going to see a bloke called Bond, I straight away thought, green finger. Sorry. Thanks, Graham. Sorry about that. And Graham, I hope you managed to tune your TV in and you've enjoyed watching yourself on the box on the Wellies.
Nice one, Graham. Good to meet you, mate. Listen, I met a couple of old Irish mates last week. We missed St Patrick's Day, by a day. So, and they said, would I give them a mention?
Yeah.
And they've given me a special recipe.
I thought you were building up to another awful joke then, but
Give it time. Give
Okay.
it time. They gave me this special recipe anyway.
And what's that then?
It's Liam and Fanny O'Boyle's corned beef and cabbage. Cabbage is still in season, so and it's a real beauty from the old land, Right. So I'm going to do that. Put the recipe on the blog.
On the blog, okay.
Yeah.
And the blog is on bigcentre.tv, and as Captain says, the recipe is there. Just another one for Mrs. GJ to have a look at. Corned beef and cabbage.
Corned beef.
You can't beat the
It's
Del.
a beauty. But listen, Liam was telling me about where he lives in Ireland.
Yeah.
And he says, yeah, you're into gardening, he says there was 3 florists, right? And they opened up right next door to each other, right in the town centre.
Yeah.
And he said they were struggling for a bit, So one day, the one on the left, he puts a sign outside his door and it says, "Old established, only goods of quality."
Yeah.
So the next day, the one on the right puts, "Newly established, no old goods sold."
Yeah.
And the following day, the bloke in the middle puts, "Main entrance."
Oh, I like that. That's good. Very clever, that.
Oh, God.
That's probably one of your better ones.
Oh, dear.
Right then, let's see the Welly War, shall we? Moving on quickly before you decide you've got any other awful jokes you want to tell. And what piece of garden-related music have we got to go with the Welly War this week?
Well, it's my old mate Jasper Carrot, Funky Moped.
Brilliant.
When I get me moped out on the road, I'm gonna ride. When I get me moped out on the road, I'm gonna ride. When I get me moped out on the road, ain't nobody gonna tell me where to go now. When I get me moped out on the
week's winner of the Welly War for sending in her wellies, so she's seen her wellies on the telly on the Welly War. You try saying that with his teeth. Kathleen Cunningham from Erdington, congratulations. A Wellies fridge magnet is winging its way to you. And please send us your pictures of your wellies. And also, Kathleen, please send us a photo of when you've got the fridge magnet on your fridge, and we'll give you the address of where to send everything to a little bit later on. Well, that's about it for another week, Captain.
Been good, mate. I've enjoyed it.
Enjoyed that. And so the address is?
It's the Wellies at bigcentre.tv.
Okay, and that's the address to send any suggestions you have, and also the pictures of your wellies. And if you'd like us to come and visit you in your garden, at your allotment, or if you've got a patio or you've got a window box in a flat, we'll come and have a chat to you. Show us what you're growing. That's it for another week. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.